Cannot sing. Yes. Okay.
I own a restaurant called Comfort Island in Portchester.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you've been there.
Yeah.
I know. So in front of us there is a shelter,
Okay.
which makes it heavy for us
Okay.
all the time. And one time was a murder in the street. And I don't think it's proper to go to this area. Or it is give imagination near all restaurants. So can we do something about
Do me a favor, give your particular information to Michael and we'll have somebody from the office follow up about that particular.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
My son, he played Astoria. I know the big issue. Can you explain? I know you support it, but I don't know what's the reason.
Sure.
Can you explain that?
Sure. So let me just give folks a little bit of background.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. The first question was about a particular homeless shelter near his diner, so we're going to follow up on that particularly. The second question relates to Asphalt Green, which is a recreation center on the Upper East Side, and deals with, I'm not going to tell you the exact question, but I'll tell you the issues. You'll get it. So early on in my term as speaker, we were able in the city council to pass a solid waste management plan for the city. I hate to talk about garbage while you're eating, but it's a garbage plan for the city. And we really think of it as a fair, justice plan for how we deal with garbage. Because historically, all of the garbage municipal uses in this city went into low-income neighborhoods of color. There's 13 in the Williamsburg area alone, South Bronx, etc. Part of the plan, this plan, is the belief that every borough has to begin to take care of its own garbage. The main borough that hasn't is Manhattan, but Manhattan south of 96th Street. This plan requires that every borough has more marine transfer stations. Because the other thing we want to do in this plan is use the river to barge garbage out of the city. We'll get 6 million truck miles off of the streets, which is going to improve air quality everywhere by driving the garbage to the river, putting it on barges, barging it out. One of the places that's going to get a marine transfer station for the garbage is the Upper East Side, East 91st Street near Asphalt Green. There used to be a facility there. It went out of use. We're basically going to, do it over recommissioning. People on the Upper East Side, and I understand that, don't want this facility there. Now, I want to be clear, when we did this garbage plan, I made sure there was one in my district, in the West Village, in the Hudson River Park. Because I didn't want to say, you have to take one in your park if I wasn't willing to stand up in front of my own constituents. So we need one on the East Side. We need another one in Manhattan. We've looked at every suggestion the folks on the East Side have given us. We have not found one that we can do instead of this. We're going to mitigate any of the issues related to the park in the same way we're going to do it for the Hudson River Park, but we need to have this there so Manhattan begins to do its fair share.
Christine, we have an Arab American engineer who's working exactly on that.
Oh, look at that. All right. And the man I pointed at just making that up over there, and I didn't even know how prescient I was in that point. There you go.
I'm sorry. Can we first is the only playground for the kids. It's a very good facility.
Oh, Asphalt Green's a terrific facility, and we've supported it with lots of taxpayer dollars, but that is a site that works. It's not, you can't just do it anywhere on the river. There's different, as our engineer could tell us, engineering realities. Every other site that's been suggested by the opponents just wouldn't work or would cost hundreds and hundreds of $millions more.
Sharif?
Hi.
Yes,
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. I wanted to make one comment, one observation, and one question. The observation is I love your sandals. They're
thank you.
Design.
Thank you. They were on sale on Arisol's website, $29.99. I got them in pink too, so if you're looking for them, I think they're still there. They're cushioned on the the inside, thank you.
It's an ancient Egyptian design, just so you know.
There you go.
The second
Brought to you by the
question-
internet.
The second question, I want to take it back to the NYPD.
Okay.
Which I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Mr. Ramadan and every other candidate for office. The NYPD is an organization that's out of control. That's my opinion as a voter. You've addressed that at the beginning, but the issue is not stop and frisk. It's not one policy that's bad. It's the entire organization that has issues. So what would be your plan if you were mayor to take that organization under your control, under control of the city? Because we are living in a militarized society with NYPD officers walking around with military-style machine guns. Would Ray Kelly stay on? Would you consider somebody else?
Let me first say, I just want to make clear, I don't think the entire NYPD is bad. So I just don't.
I do.
No, I know you do, but I just want to make clear that I disagree with that position. Now, that said, I respect your position, but I just want it to be clear, I see differently. Now, a lot of the discussion and debate about the Inspector General bill has been around stop and frisk. And the court has ruled on that. But one of the good things about the Inspector General bill, Inspector General and the monitoring when it's a law, it will exist permanently. And the job of the Inspector General with subpoena power will be to monitor all of the policies and practices of the police department, to make sure there's a place for citizens to go if they have a concern about a policy, which is different than having a concern about a particular officer. There are places you can go for that. So for whatever the issue is today or tomorrow, we don't know. That's why we're going to have permanent police monitoring, and it's why it's critical it is not within the police department. It's going to be within the Department of Investigations, where they will have subpoena power, so it is really going to be independent, and that's a way, with the type of concerns you're raising, they can get addressed. And it's not just about this program, and it also is not just about concerns. It's a way to get good ideas out there, just suggestions for changes in policing and policies moving forward.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I have many of my friends. I'm an engineer. My background
It's the engineering table.
Yes, and I also teach at St. John's University. In addition to that, many of my friends are in real estate development and construction. And they asked me to ask you a question.
Okay.
All city and state agencies, they have something called the Inspector General. And, the Inspector General is the authorities' eyes and ears for, looking after, conduct of the employees and the agencies and making sure that they abide by the law and they don't go above and beyond, their duties and responsibilities, because when they carry this badge, they have a lot of power. And the only city department that does not have Inspector General is the buildings department.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, because the police department has it also.
Yes, but the buildings
All
department,
right, we'll take a look at that.
they don't have an Inspector General.
Okay.
And God have mercy.
Totally.
If one of those inspectors,
Totally.
some of them, they don't have high school diploma.
Totally.
Come and knock at your
Right.
door. They will make your life miserable and a nightmare. And they have put some small contractors or developers out of business because of their, just some
Right.
violations and things like that. So why, such a very critical and important department does not have an Inspector General?
I don't know. We will take a look at that, because certainly the Department of Buildings, I was of the impression, honestly, that it did. We will take a look at that. Certainly the Department of Investigation has done a lot of investigations and actually arrests within the Department of Buildings around different issues in the past, and I've certainly heard other complaints, and fixing the Department of Buildings and making it a place that really works in a fair way for engineers and builders and for neighborhoods, because you also hear from residents concerns that their voice can't get heard, is something that's a high priority for me when I'm mayor, but I'll look at the Inspector General issue. Yes?
We all know that New York City have more than 60 50% of diversity population, and actually the most diversified city in like the whole entire world. However, me and Yvette represented the multicultural providers of New York State, and especially New York City, we have 49. We touch everybody who's underserved in the community. People have language barrier, people cannot access the system. We don't see in New York City a reflection of supporting multicultural organization or business run and owned by multicultural people. Regardless, even after Governor Cuomo passed the last legislation about the 25% for women, and we don't see it. So do you think you can...
Thank you. No, I agree. So look, this is a big problem.
Yeah.
And it's part of the reason why, since I've been speaker, we recently, a year or so ago, passed a stronger minority and women-owned business law in the city of New York. It's also why I've said when I'm mayor, I'm going to do something called MWBE STAT, where we make every agency report publicly on the internet how they are doing meeting their goals to get to MWBE contracts in their agency. And then I'm going to have somebody in the mayor's office directly, to oversee and coordinate with all the commissioners and all the chief contracting officers what they're doing to meet their MWBE goals. Because the power we have through city contracts is so enormous, and such a way we can be really helpful. We want to marshal that. Now, we may also need to go to Albany to ask to get a bill passed that would allow us to prioritize New York City-based companies. Great, no, exactly, because look, and a smaller New York City company may cost 5 or 10% more than a bigger out-of-state company, but that money is well spent because it stays in our city employing people. So, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Ms. Quinn, I have a great deal of regard for you because I believe that you don't only talk this talk, you walk the talk on many issues that concern people of the city of New York. In your absence, I introduced myself. I'm a doctor. My name is Dr. George Abdel-Hussein, and I've always been in the academic arena. I was working for the great state of Connecticut with the Yale system. I'm now very happy that we signed a contract with Stanford University.
Oh, right, you're just saying that, right. Right.
And one of the tasks I'm going to be facing is I'm going to start a brand new training program in gastroenterology and hepatology.
Great.
That's a tough job. My specific question, and I hope for you, is when I hear comments from you, is the dollars for graduate medical education have been and they continue to decline at alarming rates, nationally and stately. I go as part of the American College of Physicians and the American Association of Aesthetic Medicine. We go every year, something to please the day where we go and we advocate for this. Can we count on your support to try at least keep what we have as status quo, so we don't lose the opportunity to train very competent physicians that can get out and work in areas, not only everyday places, but also areas where there's incredible good footage.
Absolutely, and you know, New York City, historically, there have been times when New York City has trained more doctors than any other jurisdiction, and we want to keep that going. We want to and need, oh, I'm sorry, the question was, I'm sorry, would the importance of funding for graduate medical education, the need, as for me when I'm mayor, to advocate to keep New York